This is The Gorge. It's a podcast where my friend Sarah and I gorge ourselves on overanalyzing a topic.
In person.
In person this time. Sarah, what are we talking about this week? Because you're right next to me.
I know. Somehow, in a grand twist of fate, The Gorge is actually in the same room together for the first time in many, many years, now that I think about it.
Since, what was it we did? We did the...
Bad video games. Bad license games
the
episode.
Superhero.
That episode where you inflicted the Catwoman game on me, and I thought, like, maybe I don't need to be friends with Ben anymore. Like, you know? This time it's not so bad. Hey, we're at Momocon. What's up? The Gorge is at Momocon. And instead of talking about many, many games, we're going to talk... Or one game. Fuck, I just gave it away! Instead of talking about one game, we're talking about a bunch of games. Because Momocon has an indie games showcase. And some of them were okay. Some of them were a lot of fun. And we're going to talk about a few that we really, really liked.
Yeah.
So, what are we going to start with?
Well, first, I just want to talk about it because I had a lot of fun with it. We played Tech Support.
We did play Tech Support. We played a game that that gave Ben nom flashbacks right there on the floor.
We played a game that is my job. That is my current employment job of doing tech support for random people. It's one of those cool like sim games where, you know, it's kind of like Papers, Please. It's currently on Steam. I'm looking up the dev right now. I should have just written all that down.
Didn't he give you a card?
He did, actually.
He gave you a card. Ben's going to get the card right now. This is a very organized podcast. Don't worry about it. We're both exhausted. We've been drinking. We've walked a lot. It's very hot in Atlanta. Like 100 degrees hot.
Since this is our 100th episode, we've taken...
This is our 99th episode. We're actually one short.
No, it's our 100th, because we did the bonus episode, remember?
Oh, what bonus episode?
The DMC, riff track.
Oh, that's right. So
Yeah.
this is technically... Okay, this
Yes.
is not our 100th numbered episode,
No,
Ben.
but it is the 100th file we're uploading.
Okay, alright, fine, that counts. Cheater. Which one is it? I thought you had it.
I did. I put it somewhere.
Oh, Ben, what have you done?
Anyway, the point is, it was a really, cool, sim game, and it looked like we didn't get a chance to get too far in it, but it looked like it was leading into some kind of weird conspiracy.
Yes, it had like a conspiracy angle going on, and I've never had a tech support job. All I've ever been is an art freelancer, and so it gave me a brief peek. A brief little glimpse into Ben's horrible life.
They did a really good job with it because, I was able to, okay, I know exactly how to talk to this customer.
Yeah, I didn't know how to talk to anybody.
And then I saw you try it, and you're, flailing around with this very impatient woman, and you're like, I don't know where the thing is. And I'm just like, yeah, I know exactly how to placate this exact person.
I don't know how to talk to people. I'm not a social person. I'm a graphic designer by trade.
They did a really good case I had to deal with where I dealt with an old man who had just gotten his first cell phone in the 70s and didn't know how to not talk.
He just yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool, and I think I was interested to see where it would lead with this whole conspiracy thing. It's currently out now on Steam.
Oh, how nice!
So that's cool.
Who is it by? Does it list a developer?
Developed by Dragon Slumber, published by Iceberg Interactive. That's
cool.
a Dragon Slumber. I remember seeing that name.
Excellent. That's what we wanted to.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted to hear.
So that was really cool. Yesterday we also played Sinker 2.
We played Sinker 2. Sinker 2 is obviously the sequel to Sinker. I played Sinker 1 last year at the Southern Fried Retro Gaming Expo, which was actually during E3. I went to that during E3 or some other conference. I don't remember. It was one of them. I had a lot of fun when I played Sinker. I bought Sinker 1. It's like a phone game, but I really enjoy Sinker. It's like a little kind of Zen puzzler where it's all very it's about moving. It's about moving circle shapes into holes and pulling. The deal is that you're pulling sinkers and
yeah, they're like fish hooks.
That
you hook the orb and then it only goes in a straight line, so you have to manipulate I gotta move this one in position with the other one that goes across so it can pull it in there, and
there's lots of little you can flip it and as you do as you make decisions in the game and as you click on things, it makes like little piano tunes and there's nice music playing in the background. It's like the ultimate just kind of like zen, chill, kind of lay around with your headphones on and play a nice mobile game. The cool thing about Sinker, I was talking about to the guy last year and talking to him again this year, you just buy the game and it's like $1. It's like $1, $5. It's extremely cheap. It's on the Apple Play Store and on the Google Store, whatever that's called. And
it's Google Play.
It's Google Play. It's Google Play in the App Store. It's extremely cheap, and that's it. There's no microtransactions. There's no bonus levels. I think it's a bunch of levels, and you just buy that and you get it. And the guy is really nice, and the game is good. And if you want just a nice little chill, fun game, I cannot recommend it enough. I think it has like 100 puzzles, 150, something like that.
Something cool. Something like there's a lot. There was a ton.
There's a ton. It's
in
very
Sinker 2
nice.
alone, there were just like a ton to do.
So big recommends the Sinker games if you just want to play something that's extremely chill. The guy is named Robert Waller. It's just one dude. He calls it a minimalist puzzle, and I love it. So yeah,
it's really cool.
Big recommend. What's next?
Next is a really fun one called Road to the Champ.
Road to the Champ, yeah.
That guy had a lot of really cool, really quick stuff. He has an itch.
I've got him right here. He is pizzapranks.itch.io. That's Andrew Bailey. Very cool guy. Mountain Goats fan, so of course I instantly respect him more than anybody else at Momocon because, as you know, we all love the Mountain Goats down here in the South because we're all a bunch of sad people. He's cool. He has a lot of cool little ideas of just like micro games, kind of the way that Kitty Horror Show and the developers of Nun Massacre and the Glass Staircase, games like that. I mean, he doesn't make horror games, but he's got the same model where he makes little micro games and then he makes bigger games as well. Really cool. Road to the Champ is an RPG about wrestling where the main focus is the theatrics of it.
And I think that's really cool. Yeah. Because I know a lot of people have been claiming for like, I want a wrestling game where you actually do the script writing and the not just beat your opponent like a fighting game, but like, no, you might lose. Your character might lose this match, and you have to make sure you sell it really well. Mm-hmm. Like, I know the Best Friends, whenever they did their WrestleMania, they would talk about they want to do like cutting promos, like getting razor blades, like sneak in and cut yourself in the middle of the fight.
Right? Yeah. He's it's got like a cool like lo-fi aesthetic going on. It's very NES game.
It's that messy kind of blob aesthetic.
That blob NES aesthetic.
Like not even NES, like Atari.
Yeah,
even,
more Atari, absolutely. And I love it. I just think it's really fun and charming. It's not out yet, but it should be soon. He has a lot of cool plans. He was talking to me about having it start as like wrestling for your family in your backyard as a kid, and then progressing further in your career with every encounter and treating them like JRPG encounters instead of big, like, you know, how the current wrestling scene is.
Health bars and versus mode stuff.
That stuff that isn't really how wrestling is actually like. So it's definitely more like an actual... It's all about like the fun theatrics of it. It kind of has a cool 80s feel, and I really like it. He has a ton of games. He showed us a list. He's got like 15 games, and we didn't play... he had 2 on demo. We didn't play the other one. It's like a funny love matching game.
I poked around with it a little bit, and it's not even... like, it's one of those things where it's not even really like a game. Yeah. It's just like... It's kind of like you're basically rolling the dice, and then the love guru will tell you... Like, you whisper into your computer's microphone, like, your crush. Okay. And then the love guru or whatever will tell you whether or not you're compatible. And it's just fun. Like a random...
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff like that. It's a lot of those cool experimental itch titles.
He did have a really cool one where you have to go through a maze, and the idea is that you and your significant other have to make a heart with your hands. And then you so like you do the two halves of a heart, and then you each do that heart by holding down a mouse like a button on the mouse pad.
Okay.
And then you have to move the mouse together through a maze.
That's cute.
And like if you're doing it by yourself, it's the easiest thing in the world to move a cursor around. You win. But like with two people trying to guide the same mouse, like that could be really fun.
What was the other game he said he had that? Hold on, I'm gonna pull up his itch real fast on my phone. He had another game that I think was making the rounds on Twitter. And a lot of people were talking about it, and I can't recall what it was called. I should have taken a picture of all of his lists. This is a very organized episode of The Gorge. Don't mind us.
He also had, while you're looking that up, I just remembered he had, like, a tabletop book.
Yes,
of, like,
he did.
little mini tabletop games to play. Like, he had the Seinfeld RPG.
Yes, he did.
That I wanted to take. I might go back there and buy that book tomorrow if he's still there because I kind of want to look at that.
Yeah, it's Remember That You Will Die.
Yes, that was the one.
That's the one that was kind of making the rounds on Twitter, so you should go check it out. It's a lot of like fun. He has tons of games on his itch.
Yeah.
They're all I think they're all just donationware.
He seems like the kind of guy that just gets an idea and he makes the idea and then he throws the idea out to the world.
Yeah.
See if anyone takes it.
Exactly. Like, I think that's really cool. That's what makes itch so like fun and special.
Yeah, and like Road to the Champ is like the one that he's like trying to work on, like make that his thing. And I think that's really cool. I love that idea. That concept is so cool.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for that. I'll definitely play that when it comes out. I'll keep an eye on this guy.
It's the thing I love the most. It's kind of like itch fills the need, like a hole that Steam doesn't really satisfy, of just like extremely weird experimental titles that people just kind of like throw out into the void and hope for the best. And so you get a lot of like stuff that isn't beholden to anybody, and they're just making cool art.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, art is a good way to say it.
They're just making weird outsider experimental art pieces, and I dig that a lot. So yeah.
Like I think about when we did Unnecessary Evil.
Yeah.
And it's like that's just a cool game idea that they put into 5 levels, and they're just like, I like this idea. Mm-hmm. So that's cool. I like Itch for that reason.
Yeah. What's next?
Next is probably one of the ones that I had the most fun with. Round Guard.
Round Guard is a blast. I'm so excited for Round Guard to actually come out in full. Round Guard is a RPG and Peggle.
It's if you made like Bust-A-Move into like an action game.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not. No, what it is? It's Bust-A-Move meets Dr. Mario. Because you're destroying the things,
It describes itself as a bouncing dungeon crawler with pinball physics, lots of loot, and a randomized castle full of oddballs. It definitely is kind of like... I probably, if it wasn't like, we need to go look at other things, I probably could have sat there and played Round Guard for another 3 hours, like, without even trying. Because it's definitely that kind of, like, fun, addicting, just little casual...
It's got like and I mean this in a very good way, it's got a very powerful mobile game aesthetic.
Yeah, but they said they're not.
They want to do that.
They're not even trying. They're like mobile game is in the distance. Although they were talking about a Switch version, and God, I want it on the Switch.
This game would kill on Switch, without a doubt.
So it would be so good on Switch. It's basically like a JRPG, or not JRPG, like Western RPG. So you have like a rogue, a warrior, and a wizard character coming later,
right?
And you use it to like blast your way through like a pinball kind of
like
board.
The idea is that you have your slingshot at the top, and you can angle the slingshot, and then you fire the character's like a little round, like
you're so cute,
like a beanbag of a person.
Yes.
Like what are those little toys? Not the Weebles, but like I think they're called Little People. That you put in like the cars and they drive around, their little egg-shaped people.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
I was very, very young when we had those.
Maybe that was a thing. Maybe that was a Michigan thing. I
don't
know what that is.
It's like a Fisher Price thing. But like, they look like that. They're just little round ball people.
Okay.
And this game reminded me of that, where it's just like, it's just a little guy, and you throw that, you slingshot that guy across like this field, and the field has enemies scattered around it, and like,
pots of gold.
Pots that, like, you bounce off of, and there's, like, bouncing physics and stuff.
And it's fun. It's just, like, really fun and addicting, and the warrior and rogue have different, like, special attacks. Mm-hmm. What was the rogue doing? I played the warrior.
Rogue has a double jump, which is after you fire, you tap her ability, and you get an arrow to angle yourself, and then she'll jump in that direction.
Okay, the warrior has an AoE, like a spin attack, that if you hit it at the right time, it'll hit like a bunch of different pots and stuff in the room. Although I do think the rogue is probably the most useful of the two. Apparently the warrior, not the warrior, Jesus, I'm tired, fuck. The wizard is gonna have like a bunch of spell kind of mechanics and stuff, which I think sounds interesting. I'm really excited for further developments of it. It's by, I just pulled up, I found the card. It's Wonderbelly Games, and they have it's Round Guard Game on Twitter, and they're available to wishlist on Steam, and the music is really cute and poppy, and it has just a fun, like, fantasy aesthetic that's kind of, like, goofy and just cute.
The tutorial was really cute, because it was, like, this nice lady, like, kind of, like, she was kind of like a director of a play, and she was, like, giving you stage direction in the guise of how you play the game.
Yeah, I really, really enjoy it. I don't know, I feel like I said, it's one of those games I could lose a day into, especially if it does come out on Switch.
Yeah,
Then it's just a game I could just kind of play forever without even trying. I just sit around and play Round Guard all day. But yeah, I really like it. We just got to play a little snippet of every game, but Round Guard is a huge recommend. You should go wish list it on Steam.
And, there's a point, like, after you do, like, the first 2 levels, it's like, press this button to pull up the map. And you pull up the map, and it just
massive.
Goes. It's like a scroll.
I know, it's so great. It's like, oh good, I can just play this game for the rest of my life. Don't worry about it.
There's branching paths and stuff, and it's just, that's incredible.
I assume you'll be able to unlock different special abilities and stuff. I didn't get a chance to ask her that.
I saw there's, like, because they had, like, a demo running, too, like, just a gameplay demo. I saw the rogue have bow and arrow. So that while you're falling down, you can shoot arrows at targets instead of launching yourself. And then there was a slot for, like, a second ability, too. Like into the menu or something. So I assume you unlock stuff as, like, stuff gets harder.
I guess, I wonder if you can, like, swap the ability and stuff like that
as
you
cool.
go. That would be cool. I'm really looking forward to playing and seeing where that one goes, because I think it looks cute and fun. So huge recommend to wishlist that one and give it a shot.
Absolutely.
Next
we both played Eagle Island.
Eagle Island is cute. Eagle Island, I feel like, is still a while from release, but it's kind of a Banjo-Kazooie kind of thing.
They said Banjo-Kazooie and Yoshi's Island were their inspiration. And I can see both of those in there. Aesthetically, it reminded me a lot of... Did you see Owlboy?
I did see Owlboy.
Looks a lot like Owlboy.
Yeah.
Owlboy, and there was another one. I can't remember the name. It had, like, a really weird name to it. But, like, that like, screen transition, Mega Man style, like, you go from screen to obstacle course to, screen does that.
Yeah.
The gimmick is you have a bird, you have an owl, and you aim the owl, and the owl does your attacking for you.
Right, and it has different elemental attacks, and you collect, as you chain enemy kills, you collect, like, little mana orbs to allow you to do more elemental attacks and stuff. Which will allow you to chain more attacks, and so forth and so on. It has a nice aesthetic. It plays well. It was one of the more polished games that was there. But I feel like my biggest kind of thing that turned me off from it was really hard to avoid taking damage in some areas.
Yeah, they do a thing where, like, you do slow down, like, you stop in midair when you're attacking, but, like, you can't position yourself very well.
Right, yeah.
And you only get 3 hits, and you're dead.
Yeah, you're dead.
I feel like that's something they just need to test out, They need to adjust the difficulty for that. I hope they're there tomorrow, because we didn't get a chance to tell them that directly.
We didn't get a chance to talk to them about it. I think it would just be solved, because, like, the bird's basic attack is a non-magical, you just launch the bird at things, and it hits them. And, I feel like just does the addition of a lock-on or some way to actually aim your... Because, like, right now it just goes forward.
Yeah, it's just the 8 directions.
Yeah.
And you can't... So, like, if you're at an angle where you're not within that, like, they're between, like, 45 and 90 degrees, you can't hit them.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a lot of enemies that will get in that position, and you have to, like... You have to, like, maneuver yourself in there, and that's where you take a lot of your hits.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like, it's a good start. It's a good concept. It has a really fun aesthetic, and I like the idea. And I am looking forward to see it get refined. Yeah,
I think the number one thing they need to do is just change it so that you have a full 180 directional thing. Because if they're gonna do if they're gonna draw Yoshi's Island as their influence, that's what Yoshi's Island has. It has a full
180.
Yeah, 180 range to attack with.
I mean, yeah, we have an analog stick.
Yeah, make use of it.
Also, maybe like a line that shows you kind of where it's going, some kind of something or other.
Yeah.
I have a hard time visualizing, like, where exactly my board is going when I'm shooting the bird. Shooting the bird.
They did have little plushes of the owl, and I kind of wanted to get one.
They did have plushes of the owl.
Cute.
They're very cute. It's very cute. I'm susceptible to cute plushes, as Ben learned today.
And I also felt bad throwing this owl at all these enemies.
The owl loves it, man.
I know, you need to make it more clear that the owl is enjoying it and having fun, you know?
The owl is clearly just as gung-ho about this as you.
Because, I'll miss a shot and the owl will just kind of, flump into the grass, and I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, bird. Yeah, Ben learned at this con, I am extremely susceptible to very cute plush animals. Because every single, booth we walked past that had one, I was just like, I love him!
All these adorable little plushes and Pokemon with the Ditto faces on them
were just
crying. Irresistible.
I'm just, sobbing at how much I love all of them, because I'm so weak to cute, soft I could just, walk around holding one all day. I'm a 30-year-old woman. I'm just like, stop fighting.
We're walking around and we're both looking at all these ceramic anime figures and we're like, oh, of course, yes. Who would be so droll as to buy these expensive figurines? And then we pass by all these plushies and she's just like, I need all of them.
I need all of them. Look, you said, a figurine, you don't need to be gentle. You have to be gentle with it.
Yeah, you can't just do whatever it has to stand somewhere.
And it's and then it just collects dust, then you just kind of look like a weirdo with a titty figure on your desk, or Goku. And it's no. You know what isn't weird? And you can just kind of chuck around your apartment? A giant stuffed bunny. Okay? That's what I want my life to be.
I saw the one I really want. I will probably go back and buy that Bowser Jr.
You should get that Bowser Jr. You're good son.
When I was in high school, I used to every con I would go to, I would always my thing was I would buy one Mario related plush thing. So I have a 1-Up Mushroom, I have a Starman, I have a Goomba, I have a Koopa, and I haven't done that in a while because I've been to many cons. But what I want is a Bowser Jr. plush that has beanbags in it, so that it weighs 5 pounds,
despite being teeny tiny.
Because I imagine Bowser Jr. is the kind of little kid who doesn't know how much he weighs. So he's the kind who will just run and jump into someone's arms for them to catch him, and it's just a football. It's just a football player tackling them.
Oh my god! Yes. I really want a stuffed animal from this con, and it's Saturday night. We're recording this, by the way, so con is over tomorrow. And I really want a stuffed animal from this con, but I don't want a little one, and the big ones are extremely expensive. But I want a giant dog, and I haven't seen a dog, and I'm really sad. I just want a big stuffed dog that looks those rabbit plushes we keep seeing that have giant heads and they're just made out of the softest material you've ever felt. I want a dog like that. I just want a boo-boo that looks like that, because I miss my dog, mostly. I've been away from my house for a few days, and I'm already I want my babies. So he's also had to tolerate a lot of that whining, too. with great success. He's tolerated me just going, it's my dogs. So,
Yeah, I mean, like, I miss my wife, but I can text my wife. Your dogs
I can't really text my dogs.
They can't hold phones.
I can just, I mostly just, like, text my brother, and I'm like, how are my dogs? And he's like, they're fine, stop asking. No, I need to ask you again. I need to make sure they're being taken care of.
Are they alive? Show me a picture.
Send me proof that they're alive. Put Boo Boo up to my phone. Let me hear him.
It's that picture. Yes, hello, this is dog.
Let me hear him and know he's okay. Have Diva slap the phone. I don't care. She'll do it. Just let me know, my babies.
Just press record on the microphone so that the dogs know to start barking.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. That's all I need. God, okay. That was a tangent. What's next?
But yeah, Eagle Island's cool. Who does Eagle Island, did we say?
I didn't get his card.
Oh, did I?
Did you?
No, I didn't. I don't think.
Eagle
I
Island.
think he wasn't there. So
Eagle Island's got a lot of press, so you
Yeah.
can find that one. It was at PAX, I think. So it's getting some chatter. So people will, you can Google that one. You'll find it pretty easily. There you go.
Yeah. Next is I thought it was really cool. I like this kind of stuff. You played La Rana.
La Rana was it's a SMU student project about a frog.
Yeah.
And it was cute. It's just like, go around, solve puzzles, very stress-free. You shoot water and it makes things do stuff, and it's just I think what they said was it was a 24-hour student project.
It was like I think it was like 17 weeks, like a 17-week, like it was like a full-on like project.
It was a project.
It wasn't like a game jam thing. It was
Okay.
like a month, like a semester assignment type thing.
Yeah, and it was really it was good. The frog could move faster. That was my one complaint.
Yeah.
I was just like, all right, buddy, I get it. You're cute. Can we please move?
The frog had a really cute design.
Yes.
When it drank water, its cheeks would puff up. It was great.
The first time I ever turned the camera to look at it, I just started laughing like hysterically because it's really precious.
I liked it. I thought it was really cool. I love like student assignment stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool. I don't know. It's just really cool to see this kind of creativity, like in a product. Like you said, you're not going to sell this product. You're not going to. I think it's free on Steam.
I think it is.
I think and so anyone can play it. Like there's no like main objective. There's no enemies in it. It's kind of just you're exploring an environment to get a story that's like a mythological story about like a creation myth, type thing, like a frog and a serpent, and it was really cute, and like it's cool to see students like be that,
making really interesting things, and it had a lot of just like really nice kind of gentle aesthetics and great music, and
the music was so good.
Music was very fun and just kind of like tropical, I guess. I don't know how to explain it.
It had like that like standard like Incan Mayan style,
that's kind of the inspiration for the art design that they were going for. That's
like
a good way
an Aztec kind of like an amalgamation of those kind of cultures.
Yeah, and it was very it just was very chill, and it was just kind of like simple and fun, and there's some puzzle solving, and I can only assume as the game is. I mean, we didn't even get very far. I think I played for like 20 minutes, 20 minutes, and as it progressed, it was adding more kind of stuff to do, puzzling wise, and I thought that was really neat. And so, it'd be fun to see it through all the way to the end and see how puzzle mechanics can kind of shift. I just wish the frog moved a little faster.
Yeah, then maybe you could get further.
Yeah, then I would actually have gotten a little bit further and could have just been able to backtrack a little bit, because like when your character moves slowly in a game, backtracking becomes like your worst. It becomes the worst thing.
Yeah.
Like you're just like, oh, I gotta go all the way back out of that room because I missed something. It's like, no. It's my only complaints. You gotta really fine tune movement in a game.
Right.
Turns out it's kind of vital. But I enjoyed it, and it's free.
Yeah.
So give it a shot.
It's go download it and leave a review, because a bunch of kids worked hard on it.
A bunch of kids. I don't know if they're kids.
I mean, they're kids to us.
They're like 22.
That's a child.
That's a baby when you're 30. You're right.
Yeah.
Man.
But yeah, no, it's cool. I like, and plus, I mean, if it's a college, you're probably like 18, you know.
Well, if it's a student project, it was probably like an end of semester. It was like an end of the program thing.
Yeah, apparently.
So, I don't know about. I don't think any 18 freshmen, freshmen are making video games like that.
Kids are like super impressive.
Yeah, I don't know what that's like. I never tried that hard in college. If you are, you're valid. Don't worry.
I just think it's cool. Like, you can put your assignment on Steam.
Yeah.
That's just like a cool thing that you can't really do with another like.
Put your homework on Steam. It's fine.
Like there's one thing to like put like your film project on YouTube and stuff, but like, hey, put it on Steam.
Yeah.
And it'll like it's with all these other games.
And maybe somebody will pick it up and generate hype. Who knows? So.
It's cool. Next is one neither of us got to play, but I kept seeing it and I wanted to play Everspace so badly.
Oh, Everspace looked like I don't know how to feel about Everspace. It's either a dogfight simulator, it's a space dogfighter, or it's the space sequences from No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
One is good, one is bad.
It's like a ship building thing. You build your spaceship and you mine ore, and like it looked like it had a fighting portion to it. It was very well polished.
It was very pretty.
For like, it stood out because compared to all the other games that were a bit more low key, this looked like very
AAA,
like studio,
Yeah. It's very fancy looking. I would have liked to have played it, but there was literally somebody always playing it whenever we went by, unfortunately.
And it doesn't look like the kind of game where it's like, oh, you played for 15 minutes, all right, next person comes in,
Yeah, no, you gotta kind of sit around and play that one for a while, so,
It's like when they had, like, the visual novels there, it's like, why would you have a live demo of your visual novel?
I don't have a problem with visual novels, but... Don't bring your visual novel to demo.
It's not a game that's conducive for, like, play for 10 minutes and then get out of line so the next person can try the intro of your...
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like, I just bring a trailer.
Yeah.
And some promo material. You know, that's what you do when you're trying to show off a visual novel. Bring a trailer and some promo material, show off how, like, interesting your characters are. A demo for a visual novel, unless it's like a jokey joke, that's in heavy finger quotes, visual novel like How to Fool Boyfriend, which had a really short demo back in the day, but it was a crafted demo. It was something that was just for the sake of demoing.
Right.
It wasn't like anything that was in the main.
Yeah, it wasn't like a slice of the game. It was like a teaser.
Yeah,
type
exactly.
Thing.
It was completely different.
Yeah.
So, just kind of bringing like the first part of your visual novel doesn't really work. And I don't really. I mean, it's not really a dig on visual novels with people who brought them to Momocon. It's just like, it's not a thing you demo.
Yeah, you don't. Not that way. Not in that style.
You have to build some interest about the like plot, not necessarily the gameplay, because the gameplay is just reading.
I mean, unless it is like an RPG in there too, like what Dungeon Boy or
Boyfriend or Boyfriend Dungeon?
Boyfriend Dungeon, yeah.
Is it Boyfriend Dungeon? I always get the.
I think it's Boyfriend Dungeon.
Is it Boyfriend Dungeon? I always get the order confused. Yeah. I think it's Boyfriend Dungeon, a game we will definitely be playing for the podcast.
But I don't think it's like that. I think it was just like a visual novel.
I think they were.
But yeah, Everspace looked really, really cool and impressive, and I kind of want to see what it's like.
Kind of want, it's what was it? I love Everspace. Love to play it sometime too. Unfortunately, it's just not happening. It was pretty much busy every single time we walked by. What was the other game that was busy every single time we walked by, Ben?
The other one was Looking for Heels.
Oh, it looks so good.
Which is probably like my favorite that we played.
Did you get to play it at all?
I played it for a little bit.
Okay, good.
We went to Suda 51 panel,
which we'll talk about in a minute.
We'll talk about teaser. So we got out of that, and then I went down, and I was like, I'm gonna beeline and like just see if I can get in before the dealer room closes, you know. And so I got down. I managed to sit down Talked to the guy, played it for a little bit. It's harder than the guys made it look. That was
really
that one kid that was dominating it.
He's just good.
It's a little harder than he made it look.
Okay, so how's it work?
You are playing as the white mage in a dungeon crawler.
Right.
What's it? Gauntlet,
Yeah, okay.
type thing. Or Diablo.
Yeah.
And you're the white mage. You can't attack anything, but you can hire mercenaries to do your fighting for you. And they're all controlled by AI, and all you can do really is heal them, give them a shield, and revive them when they're unconscious.
Okay.
You can also tell them to attack certain things or get them to run away.
Right.
And so you're just kind of micromanaging the battlefield, basically, and they're all taking care of it. You're responsible for giving them equipment and stuff like that. It's very fast-paced, very quick. Your abilities have cooldown on them, but the cooldown's very quick, and it's just a matter of making sure you know the hotkeys. Yeah. I think I would probably do better if I had a controller. I was on the keyboard.
Oh yeah, the kid who was dominating had a controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is really quirky art, sprite based.
Yeah.
But he's like the dev said Octopath Traveler was his inspiration for it. I thought it looked super cool.
It has that pixel art on top of 3D models.
Voxel, I think they're called, right?
Is that what that is?
Yeah, like a 3D pixel is like a voxel.
Okay.
Yeah, like that, but flat sprite characters in a 3D projected world type thing.
And all of its textures is pixel art.
Yeah.
And it has modern game shaders and lighting effects and shadow effects and stuff like that.
Yeah. On
top of a pixel game. So yeah, it is basically visually taking from Octopath Traveler in a really good way. And it reminded me Enter the Gungeon kind of has that look.
Yeah, that was one too.
Enter the Gungeon, it made me think a lot of Nuclear Throne in that all of the levels are procedurally generated. It has a lot of chaos on screen like Nuclear Throne. Nuclear Throne has a very different visual style, but it makes me think of that and Octopath. It's just had a really unique. I mean, they had it on a massive TV that was catching everybody's attention.
Yeah.
I was another one of those where we walked by and somebody was always playing it. And everybody was really enjoying it. And the guy was really very knowledgeable. And it just seems like a lot of fun. It seems like another good kind of just, it's one of those games, everybody has their kind of roguelite or roguelike game
that they like,
they like. You're either a Nuclear Throne person, you're Enter the Gungeon,
Binding of Isaac. What's the other one?
Dead Cells came out.
Yeah,
that's one of
them. Crypt of the Necrodancer is another one.
Necrodancer is one of them. Everybody's got one.
Yeah.
And I feel like Looking for Heals could be a lot of people's.
I think it could be mine very easily.
Yeah, very easily. Yeah.
The cool, you get different party members. It's cool because the people you recruit are all named, and they have quote unquote stats.
Right.
I got a warrior whose weakness was listed as I may have killed the guy once.
Yeah.
There's a bartender that's just Kratos from God of War.
Good. Cool.
It's really cool. And yeah, definitely one of the big stars of that one.
Oh yeah, he mentioned too that at the end of every level that you beat, you pick up items and you can combine those items into better items. And he said they have just massive numbers of permutations, which sounds interesting.
We saw a shot of your inventory, and it's just grid after grid of just everything you can pick up.
You can just combine things all day and do interesting things with it. And I think that's really cool. It's this very interesting and fun idea. It's another good time sink game in the best way. And I don't think it's out yet.
I don't think so. I grabbed his card. It's by Blue Bomber Games, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's fully out yet.
Okay.
But I think it's on Steam wishlist.
Okay.
Super cool. And yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that one.
Right.
I feel like people, like, I'm surprised I didn't hear about it earlier, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many games out these days. You've got to really, find ways to find kind of unique indie games. So maybe we can help. I mean,
yeah.
we don't have like a lot of listeners, but hey, we'll get you there. We'll find you a few. So, yeah. What's next?
Next is another one we didn't get to play, but I kept seeing. Just really quick, again, with the idea of, like, this is a cool idea for a game that I thought would be cool. Slime Evo was one we talked to the guy a little bit about. We didn't get a chance to play it, though. It's the 2D one where you play as a slime creature and you absorb different elements to do, like, kind of like a different, like, break down, like, different walls or, like, traverse different areas by depending on your element. The art looked really cool. It had, like, a sort of, like, it was a pixel base, but, like, kind of like a more serious pixel design than, like, the other kind of that were around.
Right.
It looked really neat, and I hopefully if tomorrow I can get a chance to play it. But and Road to the Champ and Looking for Heroes were all three ideas that I personally have been like, I wish there was a game that was like this. Like, oh man, an RPG where you play as the mage and you don't actually get to attack sounds really cool. And then here's Looking for Heals.
Yay!
And then, a game where you play as a slime and you have to absorb elements and, like, you're kind of helpless unless you don't. Oh, here's Slime Evo. And, I want to play a game where you're a wrestler and you have to do the script work. Oh, here's Road to the Champ. So
cool, yeah. It's just ticking all those boxes off.
Yeah.
You can do basically anything in video games now.
I just wanted to give them a shout out because they looked really cool, and everyone else is getting one too.
Right, yeah, of course.
The last one on the list is one that I think the last one we really played, which was Mop Boy.
Oh, there's one more. We'll talk about it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, it comes last because it's the one I'm the most. It's the one I am the most blisteringly excited for.
Yeah.
But
Mop Boy was really cool.
Mop Boy was fun and cool and cute, and I really, really enjoyed it. It has It has two separate aesthetics, where one is the top, like, when you're at your house. And, and it's like a top-down kind of JRPG look. And then you go downstairs to your family's pizza shop to clean it, because you're the mop boy. And it has this, NES...
very arcade, you know?
Yeah. Very simple pixel art, but in that really fun, weird, lanky way.
Classic Prince of Persia.
Classic Prince of
Persia, the
rotoscope,
Prince of Persia.
Absolutely.
The character, Mop, has this these like lanky proportions, but like heavy arm, like hands and feet kind of thing. Like his head is very like not big, but like heavy. Like it bobs and it weaves. Yeah. He's got this like constantly moving thing about him,
and he moves by like sliding on his mop, so he like moves really fast and he swings his mop to clean things up, and the grime turns into monsters and you have to kill like grease monsters and stuff like that. And it was just a lot of fun. It felt very old school, and I usually don't like pixel side scrollers, but a lot of these are just scratching the right itch. So you know what, that one was I liked its kind of old school aesthetic. I liked it a lot, actually.
I like that it starts with the first thing that happens in the game is you go talk to your dad, and he's like, "Oh, your brother and sister are going to go play your video game consoles. Yeah. Now go clean the restaurant.
Have fun while your brother and sister get to goof off."
And they make like they're playing your video games.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna make sure you know they are playing your video games, buddy.
It's just really cute and fun.
Has a good aesthetic. A lot of these have a lot of really strong aesthetics. So.
Yeah, and there was one next to it that we didn't get to play, but I wanted to. That was Twin Cop.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's like the they bill it. It's the same people. They were billing it as the ultimate co-op game because you play as a cop, and one person controls one arm, and another person controls the other arm.
And it looked like an isometric shooter thing.
Yeah, it was like a top-down Hotline Miami isometric shooter.
It's just this just the visual of this, like, because the arms are like full 360.
Yeah,
so just,
they
like,
can just cross over
flailing
each other.
all over each other, and
you just imagine like a cop with like his arms on like a propeller kind of thing. And it looked like a lot of fun, and I wanted to play it, but again, a lot of other people were playing it. It seems everybody liked it.
The cop had that like the huge sunglasses and the giant mustache, like the old 80s style.
Oh my God,
like,
so good.
Looked so stupid and fun.
Yes.
Yeah, so what was the one what's
Last
the
but
big
not
one?
least is the best one on the show! Because this dude has been posting in the Devil May Cry subreddit.
Oh, fuck, I almost forgot about that
I would
one.
never forget about this one. It's Astoria Legends.
Yes.
By Studio XV or Studio 15. I don't know which one it's called. Sorry, buddy. Their logo says Studio, and it's an X and a V, so it could be a 15. They are... Every one of their social media is just Astoria Legends, and it is a side-scrolling 2D platformer character action game with a style meter. It's got a style meter. It 100% it starts out with dazzling and then goes into cool, and I didn't get any higher in style meter because I'm bad at the game because I haven't quite figured it out yet, but I really enjoy it a lot.
The guy was talking, we were talking to the dev, the dev, because they're always there, and he's like, I wanted to make a Devil May Cry with Kingdom Hearts aesthetics.
And it's like, oh God.
Both of us could feel the tingle in the back of our brain.
We both just snap our heads over to look at this guy like, hello, you're our new favorite dude.
Excuse me, say more words, please.
Yes, thank you. We do enjoy this very much. And we both, the funny thing is you can see it instantly when you look at the art. It's like, this guy loves Nomura and this guy loves DMC.
Yeah, it's very cool looking. They had a really cool video, and I love this shit, where they're just like, here is our step-by-step dev to where we were today, how we got here today.
Yeah.
And they're showing clips of like really, really, really early artwork, really early sprite work that just got completely scrapped somewhere along the line.
Totally scrapped the main character design and then made a whole new one.
Animation frames, so like you'll see the character do an attack and then she'll turn into just a gray blob because they aren't done with that frame yet.
Yeah.
Super cool. They had like cutscene demos and stuff, and then the game itself they are so far in with their abilities.
Oh my God, I love it.
He talked about how like we gave you all the abilities right at the start, and the enemies are stupid as hell. And even then, I'm still like, this is hard. Well,
he even admitted that they've gotten a lot of feedback at Momocon that even like basic enemies are a little too hard to kill. And I can definitely see where it still needs polish. He said there's still a year or two out from a full release.
Oh yeah, easily.
I can feel it. It can be a little slippery sometimes. There's already a demo out to play. I still super recommend you go out and find it.
Yeah, because like he's a guy who's talking about like he wants a lot of feedback. He's talking to speedrunners and stuff.
Combo guys who make combo mods for DMC. He's talking to those.
And like so you get 3 weapons right off the start. You get the basic sword, your rebellion. You get a Agni and Rudra.
Yep.
And you get a big sword and shield.
Yes, big sword shield combo. That is basically just Royal Guard.
Yeah, and God, that shield is so cool.
Yeah, chunky.
I like that one. I tried to use the Agni and Rudra ones, and that's like you said, slippery. Like you are automatically darting along the screen. It's a little disorienting.
You definitely feel like you don't have as much control over those as you do the other weapons.
Yeah.
And I still feel like you're a little too floaty in the air. There's just still like a few things like that that aren't quite there yet, but it was still one of the most, other than looking for heals, was one of the most polished games.
One of the standouts.
I had no idea this guy was gonna be at Momocon. He's posted on the Devil May Cry subreddit before. I think that his work... the other influence he cited was old 2D Tales games.
Yeah, that's right. That's super cool.
So he's basically just
he's just hitting every one of our marks.
Just making a game that is specifically for me. You know?
I think, like, you know, the demo, they showed, like, a little bit of story content, so it's not just going to be, like, a bunch of hack and slash levels.
But he did say there was going to be a Bloody Palace style
they're
mode.
Putting a Bloody Palace
There's a Bloody Palace mode. There's going to be a boss rush mode. It's absurd.
Super cool. Like, just astounding that this thing exists, you know? Like, fuck. It's so cool.
It's so cool. It's definitely my favorite one we played.
And it's the kind of thing where, like, you play it a few times and you get kind of the weight of it, how your abilities work and stuff. So, like, if you and I, like, actually had the chance to, like, sit down at home and play it, we could be good. But we're at a con. There's people waiting behind us. You
have no time.
We're trying to talk to the dev. You know, we're trying to get feedback, and we're like, oh, what's this like?
And there's there was a dash, and you could swap guns.
Yeah, you have 3 guns, and then you have like a little an option, like a little dude following around you. And he turns into, like, different modes for your gun.
And then, like, it's like a bounce shot and a scatter shot and then a standard, like a pistol shot. And that's it.
The scatter shot knocks you back a bit, and it's like, oh, you can use that for probably some stuff later on once you get...
Yeah, if the game gets... as the game progresses, that's the kind of thing you use for stuff like combo mads.
Yeah. You see, like, certain things in the game, and you're like, oh, the dev has this in mind for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's so good.
He's very clearly a guy who, like, knows what makes character action good.
Yeah,
like,
he's played a
lot of these. He knows what he's doing.
Right.
It's just he's got to fine tune it and put in the time to make sure it all works the way that he wants it to work. Like what he's setting out to do.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know, everything I saw from it, the art has gotten. From the initial design phases to where it is now, the art is incredibly impressive. The background work that we've seen is really good, and he is an artist, but he actually started making the game by himself, and then when he realized it was a lot more work, he brought on somebody who is now doing the programming, and so it's just the two of them. It's a 2-man team making an extremely well-made, Devil May Cry kind of, influenced title. That I'm really impressed by for just being 2 guys.
Yeah, the scope he's aiming for is like you are going to be seeing a lot of this game. You know,
yeah, I'm really hoping so.
I hope I want. If he's gonna put in time to do a Bloody Palace, that means his game's gonna be pretty big.
Yeah, I'm really excited just for the notion of a Bloody Palace in this game and a boss rush. And we saw some of the bosses, and God, the boss design is great too. There's this big guy with a sword. I'm just like, yeah.
I managed to fight and beat the sub boss, which was like a sun and moon type thing, like these floating. Like mech designs. It looks super cool.
Oh man, it's really I'm so enthusiastic for the story of Legends. I saw it, like I said, when it got posted on the subreddit, and I was like, this looks cool. And then when I actually got my hands on it to physically play it, it just clicked instantly. I was like, oh shit, okay, this is a game I actually need in my life.
Right.
I'm really, really hoping this one gets a Switch release. It feels like it was made for the Switch.
He wants to put it on everything, which I think is super cool.
I really hope he can.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things. It was. It's Switch, PS4, PC, Xbox, just covered the whole spread.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of work. That's a lot of extra work.
But these days, Unity and stuff like that.
But you usually hire it's not just that. It's just you have to usually they would hire a team to do full releases like that. Mm-hmm. So it can get tricky.
It can get tricky, but I know that these days, Unity and UE4 and all of those have the options exist to make it easy to port it to each different system if it's a simple enough game. I'm
just hoping that it doesn't eat up too much time doing that.
Right.
When he could just be here's PC port, it's out, Switch in a few months.
I hope it's just that the PC version comes first and then everything else follows afterwards. because I would like to get my hands on this game sooner rather than later. I don't want to wait till 2022 to get my hands on the full version of Astoria Legends.
And this is another game where I'm like, it would be cool to have a side-scrolling Devil May Cry, and then here it is!
Whoopsie doodle, here you go, and it's perfect, and it's a female main character with an extremely good design. She is so cool.
So cool!
She looks so sick.
Her swords look all look amazing.
All 3 swords look so good!
Fucking straight red blade.
Yes.
The dual swords, one is bigger than the other, and that looks awesome! The sword and shield are just these...
huge.
Giant!
It's so cool.
I don't know. Did you ever figure out what her down ability is for that?
I didn't see.
Okay, because like with the sword shield, like if you press down and attack, because like he said, like we have directional inputs for stuff.
Yeah.
She like sticks this like scepter in the ground.
Oh yeah, it makes that circle.
Yeah. What does that do?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea what the circle does. But it
looked cool.
It looked cool. It looked really dope. So maybe it does something cool. And I just didn't figure it out yet.
Maybe it's not ready yet.
Who knows? It could be. I do know there's a demo out right now. You can go play it. It's like a early build. It's an earlier build than the Momocon build, but it is pretty similar. So you should go try it. And I think the Momocon build will be out sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
You should definitely. I mean, really, this is a game that once it's out, we'll probably talk about on this podcast.
He said he's going to do a Kickstarter for it.
Yes.
So that's not out yet. But when it is out,
we'll talk about it.
We'll throw that link up there.
Yeah.
Fuck, man! All of these games were so cool.
It was so cool.
This was awesome. There was not a single one where I walked away like, it was alright. Like everyone was like, that was really cool. That was fun, and I'm glad I sat down with it.
Well, the deal is that I was here I was at Momocon last year, and the floor was a lot smaller. The indie games floor was a lot smaller, and in just a year, it's expanded so much to add more games, and it's really impressive. And like the games that were here last year were good, but a bit more simple. And now we're getting a lot like a better expansion of what's on display, and I love it. I'm just so impressed with everything that everybody's making, and the fact that there's like a place to come and play these indie games consistently and have them get some good word of mouth. Momocon is a huge con. It's 70, 80,000 people in a weekend, something like that. It's a huge audience. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the way the indie section at this convention has gone, and just Momocon's growth in general, because I don't want to go to Dragon Con. It's too big. I don't have that kind of money. So as long as Momocon kind of stays this manageable size, I'll probably keep coming, because I really enjoy it. And because cool shit just keeps happening.
Because cool games just happen, and we get to play them, and it's like, oh wow, this is really good already.
And then, things like Suda51 shows up and does panels, which was amazing.
Yeah, so just in general, we've both been enjoying the con. We've both been hanging out, going to panels and stuff. I got shunned at the Toonami panel.
Oh my god, it was so funny. I shouldn't laugh.
We're in line at the Toonami panel. It was just a Toonami pre-flight show they do. And there's a guy walking like the other opposite direction of the line, and he's a Toonami rep, and he's handing out T-shirts. And
he looks at the guys in front of us, and he says to the guys in front of us, "You look like you're having a rough day. Here, have some T-shirts." And he hands both those guys a T-shirt. And as he starts to walk past the both of us, I look the guy dead in the eye, and I go, "I'm having a rough day too." And he stops and he looks at me and he goes, "Bold, I like it." And he hands me a shirt. And then poor Ben.
And he's looking at he can see both of us.
And we're standing next to each other.
And he just walks past me. And I'm like, well, I'm having a bad day too. My feet hurt.
I'm tired too.
A kid in a wheelchair fucking wrecked my ankle.
Yeah, a kid in a wheelchair. You were actually attacked by a child in a wheelchair. He accelerated. He rolled right forward and just hit Ben in the ankle.
Smashes my ankle, and then we're walking away, and I'm like, am I? And I look and I'm like, am I bleeding? My sock is all covered in blood. And I'm like, I'm having a rough day to do. I want a T-shirt.
And then you got snubbed by the guy at Toonami.
Walks past me, but I made up for it today because
Suda51
Suda51 signed my favorite hat.
And now you can never wear that hat again.
Never again. I have to steal it away. But the panel for Suda51 was really cool. We saw a lot of what was it? Like director's cuts for a lot of the intros for
Travis Strikes Again.
Those are all super cool. I'm gonna get that game now.
We were there when they announced, and hey, you can get that game more easily now because it's now out on, or it is coming out on PS4 and Steam, which means I basically have no excuse. So I have to play Travis Strikes Again, which I don't mind. Although I've never actually played the first two.
It was funny because we're like he's taking questions from the audience, and like they were tweeting. So you had to tweet at the MC, who would say it to the translator, who would get the answer from Suda, and then the translator would say it back.
Right.
And so we got one that was just like, hey, No More Heroes 1 and 2 are really good. The Switch has motion controls. Is there any chance of a Switch port for 1 and 2? And I don't know if he was just doing a bit or what, but he seemed like genuinely surprised that like people want a port of No More Heroes 1 and 2.
Yes, of course we want a port of 1 and 2.
Yes, motherfucker, those games are great.
Do you not realize that you made a good fucking video game?
And so he's like, oh, well, I mean, like, technically we don't have the license. I would have to talk to Marvelous Entertainment. It's like, do you guys want me to talk to Marvelous Entertainment? And we're like,
yes, motherfucker!
Yeah! And he's like, oh, okay, well, when I go back to Japan, I'll call Marvelous. And it's like,
no, how have you not considered this?
The idea just genuinely did not occur to Suda51 that people want to play his games.
I'm just like, how did you not consider the fact that, your really successful little hack and slash title.
You know, because the translator's like saying like in Japanese like Nintendo Switch, you know, port No More Heroes 1 and 2 on Nintendo Switch, and Suda's like, what? Oh! Like his face kind of lights up a little bit.
Suda-san, please! You're killing us here, man. So, and God. No, he's so cool. He's so really cool. He's very laid back and very funny and just so casual. And I loved every second of that panel. I think a lot of it streamed on Momocon's Twitch, so you should still be able to catch it. And he's so funny. And you know, he just seems like a nice guy. Yeah, he seems like a nice man.
You know, they made a point where like he won't be able to sign, you know, talk meet and greet. He won't be able to do that because he got to go. But like, people swarmed. Like afterwards, they swarmed him anyway, and he's like shaking hands
and signing things anyway.
Someone throws a Sharpie at him, and he's like, "All right," and he's just signing.
Starts shining things. He signed a girl's chest.
Yep.
He signed Ben's hat.
And then that was cool because like it's like, you know, someone comes in, he's like, we've got to go, we got to clear the room, and you know, like, you know, security, not security, but like, Momocon staff is just like, we got to go, you know, time to leave, and he's like, he's walking past us, and both of us just got, you hold out your badge, and I hold out my hat, and he's like, real quick, and he just signs it, and he walks past.
Like, we did it! We did it!
Suda51 signed my hat!
Yeah! Suda51 didn't snub us the way Toonami snubbed Ben.
But the Toonami panel was really cool, though, because I'm really excited for Lupin Part 5 on Toonami, and Mobile Gun The Origin.
And, the new event.
Oh, yeah, the new Total Immersion event.
The new Total Immersion event.
Those are so cool. Like, I genuinely think those are so cool.
They're such a cool concept. I love them every single time they happen. And Steve Bloom just sounds like that.
Yeah, Steve Bloom's voice is just, that's just how he talks.
That's just literally what he sounds like every single day. It's weird.
We also, speaking of people who just sound like that, we also had a panel with Ruben Langdon.
Yeah, we did.
Got to see a bunch of behind the scenes stuff for DMC3.
We got to see Dan Southworth dance to Pharrell's Happy, which was great. I'm just like, you know what? This is the best.
I just like, you know, just like, you know, he was like, he wanted to get through all 3 games, but I'm kind of happy he just focused on 3 because that's like the cool one.
That's the one I really wanted to hear the most about. Although I really would have liked more info about 5 because like I I love 5 a lot. And everybody freaked the fuck out when he started talking about 5, because surprise, that's the one we all want to hear the most about.
It's the most popular. It's
most recent.
I don't know why. I mean, like, what? It's not like it came out like a few months ago or something.
Not like it's the greatest character action game ever made or anything.
And is like the return to form for a franchise that's been languishing for like 10 years.
Boy, is Ruben Langdon bitter about that reboot or what? I mean, he tried to be cool.
He tried to be polite. He tried to be really polite.
But boy, he was also very much like, there's only one Dante.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, oh, Mr. Langdon was not pleased with DMC.
Nope.
He did not like that one at all.
It was really cool seeing like all the wire, like the wireframe.
Yeah, I didn't know that Ruben Langdon basically owned the company that was responsible for helping get all of that put together. That is bonkers to me. He's really just. He really does just sound like Dante.
Yeah.
All of the time. That's just what his voice sounds like, too. To me, that blows my mind. I'm just like... His fucking laptop has it featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series on it. Are you kidding me? It's amazing. This fucking guy. He gets up there and he starts talking about bulletproof, ketogenic coffee. And I'm like, you're Ruben Langdon, all right. Sounds about right.
Talking about, like, why do you have all the Power Rangers in your thing? And he's like... They're just the ones that did the best auditions.
They're just the ones that do the best auditions. They're cool guys.
We didn't. It's no nepotism. It's just we told them it was happening, and they're really good at working with Japanese staff and American staff and being outlandish and wacky.
And they can actually do all of the stunts.
Yeah.
They can physically handle the crazy stunts that DMC3 required, because DMC3 required a lot of crazy stunts.
Also, the fact that, like, the 3 of them have been trying to do this, like, I did not know that Johnny Young Bosch auditioned for Dante in 3.
Johnny Young Bosch and Dan Southworth both auditioned for Dante in 3. And then again in 4. They made Ruben Langdon re-audition.
And they re-auditioned Dan Southworth for Dante.
Like, what are you going to do? Have those two swap places? You can't do that.
What? Yeah, you're gonna fucking play Devil May Cry 4 and Dan Southworth's voice is gonna come out of Dante?
Dan Southworth has way too much of a distinctive voice.
If that fucking happened, though, can you imagine, like, the first trailer?
Oh my
God.
God.
Where it's, like, Nero fights Dante, but Dan Southworth is doing it, you're like, what the fuck? Is Virgil pretending to be Dante?
What's going on? Oh, no, we just live in
confuse everyone.
The world would just not make sense anymore, is the thing. That's all it is. But,
and then you'd fucking get, like, Virgil's DLC in 4, and it's Ruben Langdon's voice, and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
What the fuck is going on? No, it'd be too confusing. I will say, however, one, that Ruben Langdon rules, because they showed us the previs version of the Lady Dante Virgil fight at the end of Mission 14, where the 3 of them, like, have, like, a 3-way fight.
Yeah.
And... The previs fight is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And Capcom sent it back because Lady was too much of a badass.
Lady was too cool for school.
Lady was kicking the living shit out of both of them. So I just want to say that Capcom are fucking cowards.
Yeah.
I would much rather have that version of that fucking cutscene. Because, like, Lady is just owning them. And, like... The woman who plays fucking Lady's, like, mocap is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu master or something like that. She's the one doing, like, the most bonkers, like, physical stunts of everybody. And it's like, no, Lady's just a human lady. She shouldn't be able to, like, keep up with these two. I'm like, fuck you. Yes, she can. It's still Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Lady's just cool.
But I am happy that Jester's mocap actor was just like that.
That's just what he's like. That's just how he acts.
Like, that voice came out of him, too, and I'm just like, oh, that wasn't even, like, edited at all. That's just, he can just do that voice.
It just makes sense. Okay, cool.
It made me appreciate Jester a lot more, seeing the mocap, like, live.
I'm glad you still like I'm glad somebody likes Jester, because I sure the fuck don't. I'm just like, I'm like, you know what? You're still annoying, even with the people face. I mean, it's funny, but I'm still like, no, I don't like you.
They actually had a real human actor smack his own ass.
They had a human actor do that, and you know what? It was pretty great. I will say that part.
It was funny.
Yeah, it's just we got to see. I already knew this story already because I did the Dan Southworth AMA.
Yeah.
I was the one asking questions during the Dan Southworth AMA. But I already knew. I knew that Dan didn't like Jackpot. I did not know that even Ruben thought Jackpot was cringy.
Which is surprising.
Which is shocking.
Like, didn't you just mocap the entirety of the game?
Well, the way he explained it was that they mocapped it, and they were just like, Jackpot still just feels a little too cringy. And it's like, okay...
Like,
but come on, you don't see the utter... And the funniest thing to me is pretty much as soon as he showed a picture of him and Dan in the mocap suits for Jackpot. And I either posted it... I don't think I posted it on Twitter, but somebody did, but I did take a shot of it. Somebody posted a picture of it on Twitter. And, it's fucking Jackpot!
Yeah, it's one of the coolest moments ever!
It's like, it's easily top 5 moment in DMC... And Ruben Langdon was like, I don't know. And it's like, could you imagine if we lived in a world without Jackpot? No.
Can you imagine, finding out now that, this is, side-by-side comparison of the Japanese cutscene and the American cutscene, and you're like, why did the Japanese voice actor say Jackpot and you didn't?
Yeah, no,
what?
You can't take that out. You cannot. Actually, there are no Japanese. The only time there's ever been Japanese voice actors for Devil May Cry is 5.
Really?
Yeah, 5 is the first time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Devil May Cry 5, or Devil May Cry has always had English voice actors, and that's actually why a few times in DMC there are English lines that don't quite grok. Like, I'm thinking of, why do you refuse to gain power? And it's like,
a little bit.
Father, I have no father, I just don't like you. And you're like, that doesn't make
sense. That's not how a person talks?
And it's like, it's because the subtitles would just say a better version of it in Japanese. Mm-hmm. And so that's why there's occasionally still moments like that in Devil May Cry that are just like, wait, what? It's because there's never been Japanese voice actors until Devil May Cry 5.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it still just blows my mind that neither voice actor thought Jackpot was going to be cool. And again... As soon as it came up on screen, everybody lost their fucking minds.
Yeah.
Because it's the coolest scene ever.
Yeah, it's the best.
It's the best.
But that also does explain why Virgil in 5 says, "Don't you say it!
Don't you dare!" It's such a good callback.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. That's the whole reason they put that in there, was because Dan Southworth didn't like Jackpot. Oh man, so good.
It was also cool seeing the mocap for 4.
Yes.
With TJ, what's his name?
Benjamin.
The actor for
Agnes?
Yeah.
He's a big guy. He's a big buff guy, and he was doing all of Agnes's. We actually did get to see some of the mocap stuff for the Shakespeare scene.
Yeah, the Shakespeare scene. That's what I was talking about. Like, he is so cool.
That scene is so good. And by the way, if you want to know the other scene that, they all probably thought was too corny, but everybody fell in love with, it's the Shakespeare scene.
Yeah.
Because there were people in the audience who had that shit memorized.
They were quoting it, like they were singing along with the lines. And
including me.
Yeah.
There were parts where I was just like, is sanity the price to pay for power? And I'm just like, man, it's amazing. So yeah, Ruben Langdon is an extremely cool dude who just sounds like that all the time.
Yeah.
So, that's cool. What else were cool highlights before we sign off for the night?
Let's see.
I'm gonna go buy a Dragon Ball Z t-shirt tomorrow.
Yeah, they have really cool shirts here. Tomorrow is the day where we go buy our shit.
This is the day we go buy everything because we hope it's all gonna be on sale.
Yeah.
Sunday. That's Sarah's con tip for you, is don't buy anything until Sunday, and then dealers will be willing to cut you a deal.
Cosplay contest was really cute.
Cosplay contest always rules. I love it every single time.
They had a little kid dressed as Mega Man that was fucking awesome.
Who couldn't walk because his boots were too tall for his knees to bend. This is so cute.
It was adorable. They had those 2 separate cosplayers for Thunderbolt Fantasy.
Yes.
Which I want to check out now. Like, I forgot it existed.
I think it's Korean.
Yeah, the Korean puppet show.
The crazy ass Korean fight puppet show thing. And I'm like, okay. it is incredible. I mean, I've seen shots of it. It's bonkers as hell.
Yeah.
It's like really well made for being a puppet show. And there was a guy who cosplayed as the car from Initial D.
Which was awesome.
That guy is my hero.
It had an engine in it, and it drove.
It drove. It actually moved, and he drove it right into a wall as soon as he got off stage. Yeah.
But it was fucking cool.
But it was fucking dope, and it could drift, and it did drift.
It literally did nothing but drift. Because it was on those like wheels that like just turn with the like a shopping cart wheel.
Yeah, it was just on skates, and he did multi-track drifting, and it ruled. So, you know. Yeah, I love Momocon, man. Momocon is just, it's a blast. It's hot as fuck, because it's May in Atlanta, and global warming is coming to kill us all. Not to, make us all, not to bum us all out, but it's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is just, it is a delight. It is packed. It's just a party. I love doing it. I'll probably be back next year. Because I just really, really enjoy Momocon, man. And I can't wait for more.
Game room's fucking gigantic.
Great. Game room is bonkers. Jubeat is still the best arcade game ever made.
So cool. Get to play a bunch of cool shit.
Mm-hmm.
Not just the indie games, but also just like old school stuff.
I was extremely drunk and doing very poorly at Mario 3.
Yeah, we tried to play a little bit of Mario 3. It did not go well for her. It went well for me, because I could handle Mario 3.
I literally could not. I think I beat a single level in the entire time.
You got stuck on an auto-scroller, and I'm like, oh boy, I can see where this is going.
I died on an auto-scroller. Yeah. It's pretty bad.
That's too much pressure to handle.
I was just like, I can't make a decision. I gotta move. I don't know what to do. I've had, like...
Now, granted, I've had, like, I don't know, maybe 18 years of experience of extra, not even 18, probably like 20, 25 extra years of experience playing Mario 3 than you have.
I do not play a lot of Mario recreationally, okay?
And I was literally, I came out of the womb playing
Mario, yeah.
So I know where all the shit is in Mario 3.
Yeah, no, I don't do the Marios. I mean, I've played all the old school Marios, but I'm not knowledgeable enough about them to navigate them after a substantial amount of rum and coke.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the breakdown of it.
We watched a little bit of Dragon Ball. It was really cool.
It was very cool.
Fighters is still a really cool game.
Those chairs they put you in suck. I literally think I broke my ass sitting in them, so that was cool.
We had a cool moment we were watching the Losers Bracket tournament, and had a cool moment where there were 4 distinct instances of Masako Nozawa in the game. It was 4 of her, and it was Piccolo and Yamcha.
There's too many Gokus.
Because it was Bardock, GT Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, and Adult Gohan.
And Gohan.
And I'm like, this is 4 instances of the same woman. Wow.
That's just a lot of Gokus at that point, man.
Now, to be fair, they were all distinct. You could tell the difference between them.
Right.
So she's good at that. She's good at her job. I just can't handle it. I was raised on Funimation. I'm sorry. I don't
like the grandma voice. I can't handle it. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people who swear by the DB subs, and that's fine if you like your subtitled anime. But Krillin sounds like a 10-year-old boy, even though he's supposed to be like 50, and Goku sounds like my grandma. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
It's not what I was raised on, so I can't make the transition now. It's too late. Too much time has passed.
I've been brainwashed.
I've been Sean Schemmel for fucking forever. I can't.
Sunny Straight and Sean Schemmel.
Yeah, I can't go back. I can't stop. I'm sorry.
No.
But no, it's all really cool. I love watching tournament play and stuff.
I'll never be that good at anything ever. It's okay.
So you just vicariously
just live vicariously through that, and I think those are the highlights. Those are the highlights. It's all been incredibly fun.
Mostly, it's a chance for us to hang out. For once.
We've actually been able to hang out.
Yeah.
Yay! The Gorge is in the same room.
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
It hasn't happened since my wedding.
Which is, granted, a pretty short period of time for us. Usually it's like, it's usually like a year in between every physical hangout.
Yeah.
So, this is a short one, so it's good.
Yeah.
But still. Who knows? Maybe we'll get together. Not anytime this year, because I'm going to Japan. And you're going to Japan in May, so you probably won't be at the next Momocon.
Oh, no. Well, Probably not. No, I'm going in April, but yeah, probably won't be able to make
it.
Because
you'll be poor from going to Japan.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll figure something out. We'll
figure it out. We'll play it by ear. Either way. Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it. We do have a few announcements. I do the ending spiel.
Yeah, do that. Which ones?
So, our Ko-fi is functional again.
Yes.
It's up and running.
We changed it.
We are doing a thing. You're not just giving us money to keep the podcast funding. Because since we dropped Libsyn, I can afford that now.
Yay!
Because it's just SoundCloud and everything else is free.
Right.
Instead, if you give us money, Sarah will be able to afford to play bad games. Our current goal is to get $200 to play Yick, a postmodern RPG. We will play it. She will play it. I will watch to completion. We're going to try to stream it if we can get that working. If not, we'll do our best. And then from there, every $100 we get will go towards another bad game to play and do an episode about.
Which will probably be like DMC Devil May Cry for the next one.
DMC Devil May Cry,
one of the bad Sonics. Not Sonic 06, that's too easy.
No, but or another David Cage game.
No! Isn't one enough?
It'll never be enough because you'll never be stopped.
Oh no!
So that's our donation. That's our new goal.
I already hate this.
But Sarah, you'll also get to use your streaming equipment that you'll be able to afford to stream your own games on your own damn time.
I know, but still.
This is the price you pay.
This is the price I pay to get sweet Ko-fi Green. I had to play bad fucking video games.
Is sanity the price to pay for power?
No! I don't want to be a crazy person playing bad video games. It's gonna happen anyways.
And then the other thing is, we'll post this on the Twitter to remind you, but hey, we're gonna open up, we have a Discord, and we haven't used it for public. We just used it to record a couple episodes once and then we gave up on it. But we're going to open our Discord up for public for people to come hang out and talk video games with us. And we will be on a call that anyone can join to watch certain press conferences of E3. So if you want to come hang out with us and watch E3 and talk and talk and scream through the God-willing DMC5 DLC announcement. I know it's coming. I can feel it in my big yay bones. I feel it. And, if you want to come hang out with us and watch that, that's cool too. We'll post a link to that sometime after this episode goes up.
Yeah. And then we'll just fold reminders of that into episodes and the episode description and stuff.
Yep.
So those are our two big.
Oh yeah, we changed the URL to our Ko-fi, by the way.
Yeah, it's the Gorge now.
It's just Ko-fi.com/thegorge, one word.
Yeah. So yeah, that's like us expanding a little bit, because we can do that now.
I just realized nobody else can see me giving Ben the thumbs up,
yeah.
So I just gave Ben a big thumbs up.
Yeah, so that'll be cool, and hopefully we'll see you guys in the Discord soon, and we'll be able to hang out and talk about E3 soon. And so, thank you to Broke Free for background music. You can follow me on Twitter at thegorgepodcast. You can follow Sara at radioinactivity. And if you want to hear Sara talk more on other podcasts when she's not exhausted, you can listen to her other podcast.
I'm so tired. I'm about to fall asleep over here.
Hey, I'm in another podcast called Big Gay Nerds, where me and a bunch of cool queer friends get together and we play tabletop games. We just finished our block of Fate Core Knights of Invasion, and it has been a blast. I get to do a sweet Nordic accent. Saturn has a cool booming voice that sounds kind of like how I always imagine Steiner from Final Fantasy IX sounding. We have a lot of fun. You should come check us out. We're at Big Gay Nerds on SoundCloud, and you can find the links to the rest of our social media from there. Thanks.
You guys should do a one-off of the Seinfeld RPG.
Oh my god.
You should buy that booklet, and you should throw it at Owen and be like, here, look, we're doing this. Look at this thing we're doing. I call Elaine.
God, make it stop. Do it. Let's do do this exit.
Alright, that'll do it for us. What do you got?
Fuck this Atlanta heat. I literally think I'm fucking dying. It was like 104 degrees out today. And I just thought like, I'm dying.
We're at the thing where like the con is not a far walk. Like the hotel we're staying at is not far. It's like 10 minutes, and it's like, we can do that. Then we get there, we're like, fuck this.
I am It's fine to walk back at night.
Yeah.
But in the morning, I am like melting as soon as you step outside. It is blistering out there, and it's horrible. You're just sticky and sweaty. I haven't felt clean all weekend because I have to keep going out into this, and I just feel like gross, and I hate it. So fuck the Atlanta heat. Fuck cities. I'm so ready to go back to the country after this shit. That's my only complaint, is that I'm just like, I've been living in the country for too long. I've been living in the country for 7 years now, and then I get to the city and I'm like, look at all these people. This is so nice. And then I remember that people mean a lot of cars.
I know.
And I'm just like, fuck.
Oh, also fuck the Atlanta airport for putting my bag in the wrong carousel, so I didn't know where it was for a while.
Also fuck the Atlanta airport for all of its constant, god-awful construction that left me in traffic for hours, and I don't have any AC in my car. Oh, but we did do speedrun strats to get out of the airport parking lot.
We did clip through a floor to get to the bottom floor of the parking lot.
Faster than anybody, so yeah, that was cool. That it?
I think that'll do it. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.